Hey everybody, I'm Becky Adams. Thank you for stopping by today. I am here with a Hip Kit Club design team project. I am using the February 2021 kits. I'm using the main kit only, and the challenge for today's assignment was to create a project using circular elements and 2 to 3 photos. So as I mentioned, I'm using the main kit, and I've got 3 photos here, but I wanted to tell you a little bit about the background. So I picked this light blue ledger as my background, and then I added on top of that this gorgeous wood grain, and I believe I divided the page right in half. Let me see. Yep, I divided it right in half. So this is a 6-inch strip of the wood grain pattern paper. And then I took this navy star paper. This is from Echo Park Paper. And I punched a whole bunch of 1-inch circles. And then I punched 1.5-inch circles with the Simple Stories Hello Today pattern paper. And I cut these circles in half. The red polka dot ones, and I adhered them right up against this wood grain, and then left the edge of the circles to where I could flip them up a little bit. And then on top of that, I adhered the navy circles, and once again I adhered them just in the middle. And then after I was done with that, I took my paper piercer and my ruler and punched holes and hand stitched this white border in the center. So I did that because I knew I wanted to do some hand stitching, and I just do hand stitching off camera. So let's jump in and get going with the rest of the layout. So right up here on the top, I'm going to have these 3 photos. And they are photos that I just took recently from around our home. And I'm just going to lay those out. I want them centered here on the top portion of my layout. So we'll start with adhering this one in the center. And I'm not measuring these out completely perfectly. I just want to make sure that they're straight. I'm going to move this down just a little bit. I don't want them tucked right under the circles. Let's see, is that okay? And we'll adhere these other 2 just right. I'm just going to leave a little bit of room in between the photos. These photos are 3x4 photos. I printed them at home. I print most of my photos at home. If I don't print them at home, I print them with persnickety prints and have them shipped to my house. But these ones I just printed at home. Okay, so now that I have my photos in place, the next thing I want to do is make sure, kind of lay my journaling and my title out to make sure that I have the placement correct with those. So here's my journaling. There's quite a lot of journaling. So to save room, I just typed my journaling. If I were to handwrite it, it would take up a lot more space. And so you'll often see me use a typewritten journaling, and that's not because I don't want to include my handwriting. It's often that I just have more to say than what I have space for. So the title for this layout is Everyday Life. And this heart I fussy cut from the, let's see, I believe it was a Simple Stories paper. It was the red, the other side of this red polka dot. And I liked the heart and I wanted to use it, and so I just fussy cut that from the pattern paper. The chipboard that I am using on this layout is from the chipboard stickers in the main kit from the Simple Stories Hello Today collection. So I'm going to layer this. There's this really cute clipboard, I think it is, and I wanted to layer that underneath my heart there. I'm going to pop the other side of this heart up so that I can, so there's room to tuck that chipboard underneath there. And then I'm just going to layer this piece of chipboard that says Every Day. And I removed, this chipboard had adhesive on it, but I wanted to play around with the placement and make sure that I had everything where I wanted it. And so I just peeled the backing off. So we'll just use a little bit of liquid adhesive and glue that right down. So the chipboard does have adhesive. I'm going to add a little bit more liquid adhesive just to make sure that everything stays in place. Chipboard is one of those things that when I flip through my older albums that I did not use extra adhesive on, I find pieces of chipboard at the bottom of my page protectors. I've just found that it does not, the adhesive that comes on it just does not work super well. So I just add a little bit of liquid adhesive, and it works really well because the adhesive that comes on the chipboard holds it in place, and then holds it in place immediately, and then the liquid glue holds it in place long term. So there's my title, and I'm gonna go ahead and adhere my journaling now. So as I mentioned, I typed my journaling. I printed it out. This is just on regular copy paper. I cut it with my paper trimmer. I do leave it attached here on one side just so I can keep the strips in order. And then I put, let's see, it's 1/8 inch double-sided tape adhesive on the back. And this is going to be really easy to line up because there's already lines on my background paper. I love it when I can use the design on my background to straighten things, to make sure that things are straight on my layouts. And then you'll notice as I put these strips on, I am making sure that they don't match up. I want to kind of bounce them back and forth so that they're not all in a straight line. It just gives the journaling a little bit more interest. So we'll just pop this strip over a little bit more. I just eyeball the spacing between the strips. You for sure can measure so that your strips are exactly evenly spaced. It's just a personal preference, and I've just found that I don't want to take the time to measure things like that. I guess I would rather use my time to do other parts of the project. So we'll just finish up these last couple of strips. Okay, so I have the most important parts of my layout already on there. We've got the photos, the title, the journaling, and then right down here I just typed the date instead of stamping it somewhere else on the layout or writing it somewhere else. So the date's there. We've got all of the main pieces of the layout, and so now we're just going to have some fun with some embellishments. Okay, so I have a few chipboard butterflies that I wanted to place, kind of start down here and work my way up into next to the photos. So I've got a pop dot already in place on this one, so we'll put that right about there. And then this next one, let's see, grab another pop dot. And place this one right here in the upper corner of that photo. And then there's this last one that it shows just one wing instead of the full butterfly. And I thought it would fit nicely right there on that clipboard by the heart. So yeah, I'm going to put a little bit of liquid adhesive and place that butterfly right there. And then last but not least, I have a few little chipboard hearts. And I wanted to place these around the title. So I did remove the backing on these ones as well so that I could play around with the placement a little bit. But I'm thinking something like this. So I'm just going to take my liquid adhesive, make a dot with the adhesive, and slide the chipboard right on top of that. And with that, I'm going to call this one finished. So thank you so much for stopping by. I'm so happy to have you here. And if you need any information about the Hip Kit Club or their kits, I will leave all of that information in the description box below. So thank you again for stopping by, and I'll see you again soon.